So in previous class already we had a discussion about loops concept we discussed. No? So in that loops only we can use two more properties here. So one is break statement and at the same time second one is continuous statement. What is the use of break and continuous statements and why we are using? So now we'll discuss step by step. So if you are observing here, I have here one loop. So that is like a completely 1 to 10 numbers I'm going to print. So if we are doing here I value, directly we will get the output is from 1 to 10 we are getting here. So now we can just observe the output we are getting here. So my requirement is I want to break this loop. Depends upon some condition. Whenever the condition is satisfied, I want to terminate that loop. So simply what I'm trying to do is here I'm going to write the condition. Any condition also you can write it. Whenever the condition is matched, at the time only I want to break. So for example, I equal to 5. Just I'm writing here I value is whenever it is a match with a 5, at the time I'm going to do the break. So now what is the output for this programming? Initially a value is how much? 1 only, no? So 1 less than or equal to 10, correct only. So it will enter inside this one, 1 equal to 5, wrong. So wrong in the sense directly it will come outside and so we'll get here I value is 1. Then next time what happened? I value increment 2. 2 less than or equal to 10, correct only. So it is checking 2 equal to 5, wrong. So directly we will get the 2 output, then 3, then 4, then I value is a 5, 5 equal to 5, true. So that means break. Break in the sense it will come outside of that loop. So when it will be come outside of the loop, whenever the condition is matched. So nothing but what we will get the output here, 1, 2, 3, 4 only we will get here. Now see here, we are getting here 1, 2, 3, 4 only. Just to forget about this one. You can understand only this logic only. So whenever the condition is satisfied, then you are going to write the break. What is meant break? Break in the sense it will come outside of that loop. It will quit that loop. So that is called break statement. We can use it. Understood now? So and we have here another one that is called continuous statement. What it will do? So without executing the statement, directly it will repeat the loop only. So now we can observe here. We will get the output is here 1 to 5. Sorry, 1 to 4. And 6 to 10 there is no 5. Why? Because so continue in the sense whenever I value is a 5 equal to 5, so whenever it is satisfied it will continue in the sense it won't execute this one, directly it will move to the loop only. So now I value is a 6 automatically, 6 less than equal to 10, so now 6 equal to 5, wrong, we are getting here 6 here. So nothing but only that iteration only that value only it will skip that one. So that is called break and continue statement. So for example, I'm going to do some online polling. So in the online polling, already you log in. So depends upon your Gmail ID, you will get that age also now. So we are going to check if your age is less than 18, we are unable to poll. So I'm going to take the all the ages here. So whenever age is less than 18, so I'm not going to give the permission to poll. So these kind of things we can do. So that is called break and continue statement. If you are using the break, automatically it will break that one into the, so like outside of that loop we will enter this one, that is called break, and continue in the sense without executing the statements directly it will repeat that loop, that is called continue statements. So both the statements we can use inside the loop only, that is break and continue statement. Wherever you want to break that loop, you can just use the break only. The break in the sense it will quit that loop, it will come outside of that loop, that is called break statement. Continue in the sense only it will skip that iteration only, it won't execute that statements, directly it will repeat that loop without executing the statements, whatever the statements we have. That is called break and continue statements we can use. Then we'll move to the conditional statements. So what are the conditional statements we have and why we are using the conditional statements in the real-time scenario? So that name only it will specify. So condition. So depends upon some condition, we can execute something. Otherwise, we are not going to execute. Okay. So here in the JavaScript, we have two types of conditional statements. One is if condition and second one is switch condition. We have here two types of conditional statements. One is if condition, second one is switch conditions we have here. So first one is if. So in the if again we have the different types here. So first one is simple if. Simple if in the sense if we have some condition, suppose the condition is true, it will execute some statements here. There is no else block here. Only we have whenever it is satisfied, whenever it is true, it will execute that one. It is a false, it won't execute anything. So why? Because here there is no else block here. So how we are going to work with that? Just I'm writing very basic example. Now you can observe here where a equal to 10, then where b equal to 50. I want to find out the highest value. What you are going to do? If we can write here, so b greater than a. Whenever the condition is satisfied, we can print here b is the biggest value. We can print it now. So now I'm going to write here. So b is big. So save this one. So now what happened here? We have the variables here. 50 greater than 10. Observe it is true. It will enter here and we are going to get the output is B is big we are getting here. For example, A value I am going to take here 100. So now what is the output for this programming? We will get the empty. Why? Because see here. So 50 greater than 100. Wrong now. So wrong in the sense it won't enter. It will come outside only. So now we get here. So output is empty only. So this is simple if. If the condition is satisfied, it will execute the statements. Otherwise, it won't execute anything. So and we have here a second one is we have here if else. If else in the sense if the condition is true, it will execute something. Otherwise, we have here else block. So in else block, whatever you are writing, it will execute the another statements. So for example, see here, I'm going to check the condition here. Whenever it is satisfied, B is big. Otherwise, what you are going to do, you can take here else block. In else block, I'm going to write here A is big. Save this one and go to the browser and check once A is big. We are getting. Why you are getting A is big? The condition is wrong. In case the condition is wrong, directly it will enter inside that else block and we will get that into the browser screen. So in the real-time scenario, first it will check your username and password is correct. So then you will get the login access. Otherwise, your username or password is wrong, you will get some notification. So in the else block, we have to write invalid username and password like that. So there we are going to use the if else. In the login forms, we can use the if else conditions. Clear now? Then third one is we have here if else if. So if else if in the sense we can check multiple conditions one by one. Where the condition is satisfied, only that block only it will execute, remaining it won't execute. For example, all if and else if conditions are wrong, then it will move to the finally else block. So that is called if else if we are going to use. So I will take some example here. For example, student marks. Depends upon the student marks, I'm going to display like average marks, and depends upon that average, I'm going to show like first class, distinction, second class, like that. I'm going to display the results. So now we can observe here. So in the subject A, subject 1, I got here 90 marks, subject 2, so 80, and at the same time subject C, 85. These are the 3 subject marks. So I want to find out the total, where TOT equal to A plus B plus C we can do. Now I want to find out the average equal to TOT, total divided by 3 we can apply. So now we have the average. So I want to print that average. Simply we can do here document dot. So write off we can do here. So average is, we can make it as a string format now. So you can do here average is, we can do the concatenation and we can print that one. So first we are going to print that average. After printing that average, I'm going to find the first class, second class, distinction like that. So now we are getting here average is 85. So after printing this one, I want to display in the next line only remaining things. So just I'm going to write here if average is greater than or equal to 75. Whenever it is greater than 75, at the time what we are going to do, document dot write off, we can do here distinction. The result is distinction, we can write it. So again, what we are going to do, you can write again multiple conditions here. No? So else if of, we can write here the condition average greater than 60, greater than or equal to 60, and so average less than 75. So see here, we did here comparison operator as well as logical operator also I'm using here. So that means if your average is greater than 60, less than 75, in between these ranges, at the time I want to display here. So document dot write here, what we are going to do, the result is in the, so first class, no, we can do here. So the result is first class, we can print it. So like that you can write the multiple conditions. Now I'm going to do here average is greater than 50 and less than 60. So at the time, this is like a second class. For example, this is not satisfied, and this is not satisfied, this is not satisfied at the time. So what you are going to do? Else block. In the else block, you can directly write the document dot write that is third class only now. Document dot. So right here, I'm going to write the third class. Done. Everything is fine here. Save this one and go to the browser and check once. Here average is 85 and distinction we are getting. Why you are getting distinction? Average is how much we are getting? 85 now. So it is enter here 85 greater than equal to 75. It is satisfied now. That's why we are getting here distinction where the condition is satisfied. Only that block only execute. It won't execute the remaining blocks. So that's why it is not executing the remaining things. So now here I'm going to change the subject marks. For example, I got here the subject marks should be like this. So now the average is 55. So it is checking 55 greater than 75 wrong. So then 55 greater than 60 and so 55 less than 75. This is also wrong only. That's why it is not enter. 55 greater than 50 true and 55 less than 60 true. True and true, you will get the true only now. So that's why it will print this one. So that is the result here, second class. Now I'm going to make it as this one is 25 marks. Save this one and you can observe here. We are getting the average is 35 and third class. So first it will check the 35 greater than 75 wrong and 35 greater than 60 this is also wrong. 35 greater than or equal to 50 this is also wrong. So everything is wrong. Directly to move to the else block only. So that's why we are getting here third class here. So in the if else if it will check conditions multiple one by one where the condition is satisfied. Only particular block it will be executed. Remaining blocks it won't execute. That is called how we are going to work with the if else if in the real time scenario. Actually, if you are observing, my target is marks greater than 35, then only the result will be distinction first class, second class like that. Whenever marks less than 35, I want to display the result is failed. But here you can observe here, so marks less than 25, but we are getting here the result is third class. I want to display fail. How we are going to do that one? If the marks is greater than 35, then only I want to find out the distinction or first class or second class. Now, what I'm trying to do is, so before performing these operations, so I have to check here only. So nested if I'm using. Nested if in the sense within the if condition, you can write another if condition that is called nested if. Here I'm writing A greater than or equal to 35 and at the same time B greater than or equal to 35 and C greater than or equal to 35. So whenever all the conditions are satisfied, then only you are going to print that first class, second class, or third class. Otherwise, what you are going to do in else block, we can write here the result is fail. Document dot write. So fail. We can write here the result is fail. Save this one and go to the browser and check once. See here the result is fail we are getting. So why you are getting the result is fail? Why? Because so subject A 40. 40 greater than equal to 35 satisfied. True. 40 greater than 35 true. True and true, you will get the true. For this one, we will get the true. And 25 less than greater than equal to 35. Actually, there is a less value, no? So it is less than, not greater than. But here what happened? It is a false. So true and false. What is the result for true and false? False only, no? That's why it is not enter here. Directly to move to the else block and we will get that result. This is about how we are going to work with the nested if. So first one is simple if. Simple if in the sense, if the condition is satisfied, only that block only it will execute. It won't move to the another blocks. So this is the syntax also I removed. Okay. So just we have the if the condition, whenever the condition is satisfied, only that block only it will execute. If else in the sense, if the condition is wrong, it will move to the else block. If the condition is satisfied, it won't move to the else block. That is called if else. And if else if multiple conditions one by one. And nested if within the if you are writing another if, that is called nested if. So this is the way you have to use the if conditions in the real time scenario. Then
Now, I just want to say it only fail. Actually, average answer.
you can do the comment. So first we are going to maintain the average only. No? If you don't want average, we can do the comment. So you will get the result is fail only. No? So this is only for our understanding purpose only we did. So which case it is true. That's why I'm going to print that one. So then we implemented that last. Okay. Then next, we'll move to the another condition that is called switch. So generally two types, now if and switch. In if we have the four types, so we discuss that one. Next one is switch. So switch is similar to if else. In if else, if what happened, multiple condition one by one it is checking now. So in the switch also we have the multiple things, but it is not checking one by one. Depends upon user choice. If you are given some choice one, directly it will move the case one. If you are giving choice is five, directly it will move the case five only. It won't move to the case one, case two, case three like that. Directly particular case only it will execute. So I will show you with the practical implementation. Just you can observe here. So now what I'm trying to do is, so here I'm going to take the two numbers A and B, and C is my choice. I'm going to take here one. I will change later. Just you can observe here. I'm going to write the syntax. Switch of choice. Here choice variable is a C. You can take anything else a variable, no problem. So here you can observe. So case one. That means, so whenever your choice is one, it will directly move to the case one. In the case one, whatever you are writing, it will execute that operation. For example, where D equal to A plus B. Undocumented write of D. After doing this one, I want to break. I don't want to move to the next case, next case. I want to break. Break in the sense directly it will come outside of this block only. Like that, you can write here multiple cases. This is case one, case two, case three, case four. Like that, you can write it. Now this is case two. Whenever user enter choice two, directly it will move to case two only. So and in the case two, I want to do the subtraction. In the case three, I want to do the multiplication here. And in the case 4, I want to do the division here. So now what happened, you can observe here. So A and B is there, 40, 40 we have. C is 1, switch off 1. C value how much? 1 now, switch off 1. Directly it will move to the case 1. In the case 1, whatever you implemented, it will execute. After that, break. Break in the sense, it will come outside of that block. So it won't move to the case 2, case 3, case 4. Now you can observe, we have here, the addition is 80 we are getting. If I'm using here case 4, choice is 4, directly what happened? Switch off 4, directly it will move to here only. It won't move to case 1, case 2, case 3, directly it will move to case 4. In case 4, we have the division of the print statement of the break. Now we will get the result is 1 here. Okay. If user choice is 3, so at the time what happened? Directly it will move to the case 3, and in the case 3, multiplication we have, it will execute. So it depends upon the user choice, it will move to the particular case. Now I am using here case is 30. Actually, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4 only. What happened? You can observe we are getting empty. So I don't want to show that empty. In case user enter invalid choice or wrong choice, at the time this default case is execute automatically. So we can write here document dot write of invalid choice. So this invalid choice I'm going to print in the H1 format. I'm going to take here H1 tag, H1 open, then the H1 should be close. Save this one, and you can observe here we are getting here invalid choice. Why you are getting invalid choice? Why? Because our choice is 30. Currently, how many choices we have? How many cases we have? 4 only, no? So that is out of choice, right? So that's why I'm going to do. It is an invalid choice. So this is about complete switch. So switch is depends upon a user choice. So depends upon the user choice, it will directly move to the particular case, and that the particular case it will be executed. So whatever user enter choice. So for example, just to take the calculator, if you are click on the plus, so automatically what happened? Addition we are getting now. That is user choice only. We have to click on the minus. So that is subtraction. That is also user choice only. You can, if you want to pass the choice as a string format, you can pass here. So now my choice is plus. If you are doing the choice is a plus, here also we can make it as a string format only. If you are taking the regular choice is a number format, you can make it as a number only. If you are doing the choice is like string format also, you can do that one. See here. So it is working here. So why? Because our choice is a plus. Here we have the case also plus, which is automatically applicable here. So this is the way we have to implement the switch case in the real-time scenario. Clear now? Yeah. So switch is depends upon the user choice. If you are using if else if what happened, so it will be directly checks multiple conditions one by one, one by one. we are not going to specify. You can follow this one only, this one only. We are not going to specify in the if else where the condition is satisfied, directly it will execute. But here not like that. I'm going to give my choice. So I want addition. So the addition program is executed. I want subtraction. The subtraction only will execute. In the if else, what happened depends upon that satisfaction, condition satisfaction. It will check. For example, I have here so 200 conditions I mentioned. So it will check all the 200 conditions. Where the condition is satisfied, it will execute. But in this case, what happened? I am using my choice is 200. Directly it will move to the 200 case only, and it will execute. So that is the difference between so if else if as well as switch condition. This is completely depends upon user choice only. Whatever user enter the choice depends upon that choice, it will be performed. Actually, we have here addition, subtraction, multiplication, division we have. But I want addition, I'm going to select, I require addition like that. So that is about switch case we are going to implement in the real-time scenario. Clear now? Done. This is about so conditional statements, and at the same time yesterday we discussed about the loops also. No? That is fine. Then next concept is functions. Very, very important concept. So that is functions. What is the use of function and why you are using functions in the real-time scenario? So within the function, we can place some reusable code. We can place some code wherever you require. You can just call that function. It will automatically execute. Generally, what you are going to do, you are going to write some programming. So that logic is executed by default if you are running the programming. But I require wherever I want, then only I want to call that function. Otherwise, I won't execute. So this is the thing we have to maintain. So functions. Next concept is functions. What is the use of function? By using function, we can place some reusable code. Wherever you require that one, you can just simply call that function. Automatically, the logic will be executed. So in the JavaScript, we have two type of functions. One is user-defined function, and the second one is predefined function. What is meant by predefined function? Predefined function in the sense already the definition is there. Just you have to call that function. So if you are using the marquee tag, in the marquee we did the unmouse or equal to stop. So this is also function only. No? We are not writing any implementation. Just we are calling the stop function. It is executed. Unmouse or equal to start we are calling. So we didn't mention any definition for that. Just we are calling that functions now. That is called predefined function. Predefined function in the sense already definition is inbuilt we have. Just you can try to call that one. But coming to user-defined function, you can write your logic and you can call the function. I will show you that one step by step so that you will get the clarity. Now you can observe here. If you want to declare any function, you can use the function keyword. Function and function name. Add is my function name. So in this one, I'm going to write the addition programming language. So now you can observe here, I'm going to take here function. So my function name is add. So in this function, I'm going to write here. So addition programming where a equal to, then where b equal to, then where c equal to a plus b. So and at the same time, I'm going to write here document dot write of c. We can write it. So now what is the output for this programming? We'll check here. So go to the browser screen and you can observe here what we have here. We are getting here empty. Why you are getting empty? We declare just the function. We didn't call that function. No? This is function declaration only. This is function definition. So what is the logic? That is called definition. And this is the declaration part. So but my requirement is I want to call the function now. How we are going to call the function? Function name followed by the parenthesis. If you are calling this one, you will get the output here. Actually, my target is not this one. If I am click on the button, if I am doing some activity, then only I want to display the output. Where I required, so then only I want to call now. So, but here what happened if I'm refreshing, you are getting the output. So without function also, you will get directly output now. So now you will get simply the 41. So we are not going to call directly any function also. We have to call that function depends upon our intention. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do is just I'm going to remove that one. So my target is I'm going to take one button. Wherever I require, I'm going to click on the button, then only it will execute. Otherwise, I don't want to execute the function. So for that purpose, I'm going to take here one button. Input type equal to button. value equal to button name. What is the text you required? For example, click me. Save this one and go to the browser. We have here click me. If I click on the button, I want result. So now I'm going to click on the button. We are not getting anything. Why? Because we didn't use any event. So I'm going to use some event called on click. If I click on the button, I want to execute one method called add. Save this one and you can observe. Along with this button, you can write any logic also. If you want image, you can display image. You can display the contents, whatever you require, you can display. If I want to do that execution of that function, then only it will be executed. Otherwise, remaining code it will be shows now. So that is the way you have to implement the functions in the real-time scenario. Just you have to use the function here. Understood now? So just you have to take the function followed by the function name, and you can write the logic. And if you require to call that function, you can use the event here, and you can through that event you can call that function. Clear now? So actually this user defined function, again we have two types. One is function with parameter, and second one is function without parameter. We have here two parameters, function with parameter, and second one is function without parameter. So what is meant by with parameter and what is meant by without parameter? So if you are observing, so while declaration we don't have any references, and while calling only we don't have any references, any value we are not passing now. That's why we can call it as a function without parameter, and this is also function without parameter only. So my requirement is I want to pass some value, for example 50, 60. So what I'm trying to do is just I'm going to take here some references to hold that information. I'm going to take a, b. So if I click on the button, directly it will call the function, and this 50 is assigned to a and this 60 is assigned to the b. So then we have here c equal to a plus b. Then we will get the output here, that is 110 we have here. Functions are reusable now. So reusable in the sense you can call that function n number of times also, right? So now I'm going to pass different information. 500, 60, 500, 600. So 50, 600 I'm going to pass. Different information I'm passing, but same function only now. So now you can observe. For the first button, we got 110. Second button, 560. Third button, 1100. Fourth button, 650. That is reusable. So the function is reusable. This is the way we have to declare the function, and you can implement that one. Understood now? So just you have to use the user defined function as well as redefine also. Depends upon your requirement how we are going to declare any function by using function keyword. Function name followed by the parenthesis. If you are not taking any references, so this is called function without parameter. If you want to work with the parameter, you can take some references, comma. So x comma y, like that you can take the references, and while calling this one directly you can call. So on click equal to you can call like this, but while calling this one on click equal to, you can pass some parameter also. Now I'm going to pass some name also. You can do the name. So while passing the number directly you can pass. So this is a string now. You can use the single quotes or double quotes. So that is about how we are going to work with the things in the real-time scenario. Understood now? So same function, I'm going to write a different thing, just you can observe. I have here add function is there. I want to print it. So I'm going to take here another button. So but here I'm going to pass the two strings. Save this one. See here, if I am doing the second button, we are not getting output. So for first button, we are getting 110. For the second button also, we did some mistakes. See here, inside the double quotes, we are not going to use again double quotes. You can use a single quote only. Or you can make it as the outside single quote, inside double quote, you can use it. Now we will get the result also here. For the second button, we have here Elearn infotech. Why? Because both are strings only. So for the first button, we have here 110. So the function is reused only here. You can observe. So add of a comma b. What is a? 50 and 60. 50 is a and 60 is a b. So we'll get the 110 is result. For the second button, Elearn is a and b is the infotech. A plus b. For the two strings, it will be concatenation, A plus B, Elearn plus infotech, that is concatenation we are getting. So this is the way we have to implement the function with parameter as well as function without parameter, you can use it. So this is the way you have to implement the functions. Predefined functions we'll discuss later. So currently we can focus on the user defined functions only. Then next one is function with return statement. What is the use of return statement and why we are using return statement in the real time scenario? So if you want to return some statement, just you can use the return keyword. With the help of return keyword, you can use that value. Okay. Now just you can observe. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm going to take here one function called ABC. Actually, we don't have the ABC function. I'm going to declare. So function, what is the function name? ABC. So in this ABC, I'm going to write the logic here where x equal to 10. Now what is the x? X is a number. So 10 is assigned to x now. So x is a number, right? So now I'm going to take here x equal to 11. X is a string. So now I'm going to take here x equal to, I'm going to assign some calling function. Now what is the x? X is a function call. So at the time of execution, so it will directly call this function. We have already that function. So directly it will move to this function. So and it will assign to this 50 as a and so this 60 is assigned to the B. So what happened now for this programming? We'll check. We have here the result is 110. So if you are observing, we are calling here add function. So through this add function, it is executed now. Now what I'm trying to do is, so here you can observe where y equal to 90, where z equal to x plus y, then document right of z. Now what is the output for this programming? We'll check. If I click on the button, directly what happened? ABC function it will call. ABC function we have here. So where x equal to add of 50, 60. Directly it will move to the add function. This 50 is assigned to A and this 60 is assigned to B. So C equal to 110. Here we are not printing that value and we are not returning also. If you are returning, so it will be stored into the X, but you are not doing any return. So and we have here 90 y value, x plus y, x is undefined actually. We don't have any value. So now what is the result we will get here? You can observe. And not a number. It is showing not a number. Why it is showing not a number? Why? Because x is undefined actually here. It is not returning any data. So now I want to return that value here. Return C. What is the C? C is the 110. So what happened? Return C in the sense where you call this function. So it will return the data from here to where you call, here we call. So nothing but simply it will return that 110 to the variable x. Now, so 110 plus 90, 200 you will get. So you will get the output is 200 here. So just you have to understand the concept. If you want to return any information, just you can use a return keyword. So whenever you are using a return keyword, it will return some data where you call from the definition to wherever you call that function, it will return that data. That is called function with parameter and without parameter as well as return statement. So this is the overall function, like user defined function implementation. If you want to pass strings, if you want to pass a number, if you want to pass a boolean value also, for the functions you can pass any argument, any parameter also. There is no problem. Depends upon the requirement, you can use it. Return statement. If you want to return something, you can use the return statement. Otherwise, no problem. Directly you can implement your logic also. Understood? No? These functions as well as this return statement must and should we can work with a form validations. So by using JavaScript, we can perform the client-side validations. Now, if you want to perform that one, you have to know the function concept as well as return statement also and operators, everything up to now, whatever we discussed, everything we are going to use in the real-time scenario. So predefined function we'll discuss later. Then we'll move to the another concept that is called dialog boxes. What are the dialog boxes we have here? And so how we are going to use that one, we'll discuss step by step. JavaScript supports 3 types of dialog boxes. First one is alert. What is meant by alert dialog box? By using alert dialog box, we can just display some information. That means we can show some acknowledgement to the user. Either you can show positive message or you can show the negative message also. Up to now, if you want to print some output, what we are using, document dot we are using, no document dot write we are using, and depends upon that document dot write we can execute, no. But I don't want to use the document dot write, I want to use the alert. So if I'm using alert, so whether we will get the result or not in the dialog box, I will show you. So now you can observe, if I click on that one, we are getting the result in the alert dialog box. So in the real time scenario where we are going to use that one. So now I'm opening here. So login form here. So I have here login page, username and password I'm going to enter. If I click on the login, see here invalid username and password, we are getting in the alert dialog box. So this is the way you have to implement the alert dialog box in the real time scenario. By using alert dialog box, we can display some acknowledgement. Either there should be positive message or negative message also. For example, see here, already we implemented the form concept here. I'm going to apply here. Your mail sent successfully. So here also we got some notification. So that is positive message. Previously in the login page, we did the negative message like the invalid username and password. Here I am checking everything. So whenever if you are fill this form also through the PHP, I'm going to send that through the mail. As well as here also in the login page also, I'm going to check whether user enter valid username or invalid username. I'm going to check, then only we'll get the login access. So that means that is completely like backend programming I'm going to implement for that. But you have to understand that logic. So how we are going to work with that alert. So by using alert, we can display some acknowledgement. Either that should be positive message or negative message also. You can take that one and you can implement that one. Clear now? And up to now, if you are observing, every time we are going to consider the static values only. No, I don't want static values. I want dynamic values. If I'm running the programming, it will ask enter A value, enter B value, like that I want. So what we are going to do? You can write inside the function or directly also you can write it, no problem. So I'm going to write it directly. Why? Because every time that button click, that is again difficult. So now I'm going to do here prompt of enter A value. If I'm running this programming, it will ask enter A value. Then at the same time, enter B value. What is the use of prompt dialog box? We can get the data dynamically from the user. So now just you can observe up to now, we are taking the A value 10, B value 20 like that. Now user has to enter some value. Now A value is a 50 and a B value is a 60. Now the output is 110 we are expecting. But here what happened? It is showing 50 and 60 it is showing. Why it is showing 50, 60 in the sense? So always the prompt is string format. If you are entering number also, it will be treated as a string only. So if you want to check whether it is a string or not, just you can check with the help of alert. Alert of X I'm going to do. We will get the type here. No? So we can use here type of, what is the use of type of method? We will get which data type it is, right? So now I'm going to enter A value 50, B value 60. See, we are getting here string. So that's why it is concatenated. So my requirement is I want to convert into the integer format. So we have to take some predefined method that is called parsing. User defined function, predefined functions we have now. Parsing is a predefined function. So with the help of this parsing method, so we are going to convert that string into integer format. So now you can observe here, it is asking A value, B value. Now we got here the result is 110 here. So this is the way we have to implement the prompt. So by using prompt dialog, we can get the data dynamically from the user. Always this prompt is completely like a string format. If you want to convert into integer, you can use the parsing is a predefined method. With the help of that method, we can convert into, we can convert string into integer and we can perform the operation. If it is asking enter your name, no need to convert. Name is a string only, na? You can. So like this, we are going to get the data dynamically from the user. That is called prompt. So always we can do the message for the alert, positive message or negative message, anything acknowledgement. And this one, so prompt we are going to get dynamically data from the user. I will show you another method. Actually, this method is not recommended for the real-time project. We can take the HTML form. Through that form, we can get the data. I will tell you that one in the future classes. Okay. So up to now, in this level, we are unable to do that one. You can just use the prompt only. Do one assignment. So if I'm running the programming, it will ask enter your subject one, subject two, subject three. I'm going to enter my 3 subject marks. If I'm entering 3 subject marks, depends upon that marks, I want to get the average as well as I want to get the grading like the A grade, B grade. Like, otherwise, the distinction first or second class, the result you have to display that one. That is your assignment. You can do that assignment. So this confirmation dialog box we'll discuss in the tomorrow.